Hi, welcome to Virtual Open House. I'm Ms. Bond, your student's English 5-6 teacher. First thing I want to do is I want to give you my contact information. You have here my email and my classroom extension, as well as the office hours, which are when your student can contact me or drop in for a virtual meeting in order to talk to me about anything they need to or get extra help. I'm going to go over some of the basics of the class, how it runs, what we're going to be doing. Our two main platforms are Google Classroom and WebEx. Google Classroom is going to be where the majority of our assignments are. There might be a few that are turned in elsewhere, but those will be specifically mentioned. We are also using WebEx. That's where we have our daily class meetings. Those will include direct instruction, activities where they have the opportunity to interact with each other, and other things of that nature. WebEx is where I'll be taking attendance. I take attendance both at the beginning of class and at the end. We don't usually sit for the full 90 minutes. Usually I will teach for a little bit, give them the opportunity to take a break and go work, and then we'll regather. So they are responsible for coming back on time after all the breaks, and their attendance will reflect that. If they don't make it back after a break or they log off early, they will be marked tardy. Here we have our late work policy. Students will receive 10% off the first day it's late, and their score will decrease by 15% each day after that. 1 week after the end of a unit, late work will no longer be accepted. The guidelines around late work are getting a little bit more stringent because your students are now upperclassmen and their expectations are a little bit higher. Down at the bottom of the page, we have the grade breakdown of how the different categories are weighted. You can observe those there. And here we have the course outcomes, the things that we are going to be reading and writing over the course of the semester. Please remember that because we are doing block schedule this year, a full year worth of curriculum is being taught between now and December. So we are moving at a slightly faster pace, and they are responsible for doing a slightly higher level of work, more work on their own, especially reading on their own, because we just don't have the time in class to do that. However, they're given lots of time to work. Our PBA this year, our district writing assessment, is on rhetorical analysis. And our focus in reading is going to be on shorter texts, including poetry and short stories. Here we have an overview of some of the policies. Policy on cell phones. Just make sure they're put away. They can be very distracting during an online class. And classroom policies about unsatisfactory work and what to do in the case of needing makeup assignments. And once again, the attendance policy is reiterated down there. Here I have my expectations for how they are to behave during WebEx classes. WebEx is our class time, and therefore I expect them to behave as if it is a professional classroom environment. That includes the way that they talk to each other, the way that they use the chat, how they participate, and the way that they're dressed. So please take an opportunity to look over those expectations so that you can help your student meet them. Ways that you can help your students be successful this year. One is instill good attendance habits. Make sure they're present and on time to WebEx meetings. I open up the meeting 5 minutes before we start. They should come on during that time, not after the start of class time. Make sure they're there every day. Make sure they're there for the full session. You can sign up for Parent View, which will allow you to go online and check your students' grades anytime you want. You should do that on a regular basis. Even though they are upperclassmen, they do need a little bit of extra help, especially in an online environment like this, making sure that they are getting everything done and not skipping assignments or forgetting anything. Students can and should also check their own student view regularly. Make sure, once again, that your student is doing that coursework. It can be a hard transition being online like this to be self-monitoring all the time, making sure that they are doing that work, doing whatever reading is assigned. So check in on them, help them keep themselves accountable. Another thing you can do is you can ask your student what they did in class that day, have them talk to you about it. That lets them engage with it and reflect on it a little bit to help that learning sink in, but also communicates that you're interested in it and you value it and helps them learn to value what we're doing as well. The other thing that I suggest is to encourage them to read on their own, find something that they enjoy reading and do that for fun. Students who read more are better readers and are better writers and will do better not just in English class but in their classes in general. And lastly, here's a little bit about me. Again, I'm Miss Bond. I have lived in Phoenix within the Thunderbird community in this neighborhood since I was 10. I went to Thunderbird High School, and so did both of my brothers. I graduated from here. I then went just down the street for college, and I graduated from Arizona Christian University with a degree in secondary education. And I got my Master's of English from Grand Canyon University. I did my student teaching here at Thunderbird, and I have now been teaching here for 4 years. I'd like to thank all of you for your patience and your support as we transition into this somewhat unusual school year. We're all trying to figure it out to the best of our ability, trying to make it as successful and as beneficial to your students as possible. So whatever support you can give is much appreciated. Thank you.